Welcome to everyone. With this video, we want to draw attention to multi-paradigmatic sensitivity in research, especially with regard to cross-culture management. So, who are we?
I'm Christoph Barmeyer. I'm Professor for Intercultural Communication at the University of Passau in Germany.
And my name is Sina Grosskopf. I'm a research associate and a PhD candidate at Christoph. So, in 2021, we published an article in the International Journal of Cross-Culture Management named
Learning from Multi-Paradigmatic Sensitivity in Cross-Cultural Management, Empirical and Theoretical Considerations.
And with the QR code shown right now, or with the link below the video, you can go to the website and download the article. So, in this video, we briefly explain to you what we find so exciting about paradigms, why it's beneficial to know them, and how they help us to adopt different perspectives and get a more multifaceted view on research phenomena. So Christoph, first of all, what are paradigms?
Yes, Sina, paradigms are systematic and basic assumptions how we see the world, how we perceive it, how we understand and explain this world. They are convictions. And in fact, in research, a lot of things are done in one single paradigm. So, dear listeners, you can see here the rabbit, or you can see the duck. So there's one paradigm. And when we look on research, researchers from different disciplines very often criticize each other because they are not aware of the different paradigms they have. When we look into the field of cross-cultural management, then we see that also this field is affected by separated paradigms. So Sina, what can we do to bring these paradigms together?
Yeah, Christoph, we should definitely pay more attention to multiple paradigms. To do so, we have two possible ways. First of all, we could do separate research works with similar phenomena in focus so that we have different paradigmatic positions and in the end we could compare the findings. Or second, we could be very sensitive in the consideration of different paradigms within a study. And this is what we think is very important because like this we could widen our perspective and we could come to a multifaceted view of our research phenomena. So Christoph, we decided to go this second path. Could you explain to our listeners what our main idea was?
Yes, Sina. So we take the analogy from intercultural relation, intercultural studies. This is that a lot of people are ethnocentric. So they only see the world from their perspective. And they think this is right. They have basic assumption about the worldview they have. And where we want to go is more in ethno-relativism. This helps us to understand and be more creative with our surrounding. And when we take this idea to paradigm research, we created the concept of paradigmatic ethno-relativism. So this is the idea that we have multiple perspectives and multiple paradigms for knowledge creation. This helps us to be sensitive, to have respect for and accept multiple perspectives.
Thank you, Christoph. And this is exactly why we decided to go for this multi-paradigmatic approach, because we think like this we can gain diverse and complementary insights, right? And we focused on three social science paradigms. First, the functionalist paradigm. Second, the interpretive paradigm. And third, the critical paradigm. And you may wonder about the illustrations, and we explain them to you right now.
So we have the functionalist paradigm. And the typical request is, in fact, what is the impact of national culture on management? What is the methodology? It's quantitative studies and it's standardized questionnaires very often. So the contribution to cross-cultural management is that culture becomes something we can measure, something we can compare.
The interpretive paradigm is dealing with the identification of cultural meanings, actually. And what is special or different to the other paradigm in this case is the methodology, because it's qualitative in nature, not quantitative. So what we do, or what the interpretive paradigm does, is that they are really getting into the phenomena. They try to get into the insider perspective. And this leads us also to the contribution to cross-culture management. So actually the researchers being in the interpretive paradigm try to get into the insider perspective and do an amic and local knowledge approach, so that the context is very important. They look at the context, they look at the interactions. And this is why they get into the interviewee and interpret what the interviewee is saying.
When we look on the third paradigm, the critical one, then cultural differences are used to reproduce power asymmetries. When we look on methodology, it's critical discourse analysis and also critical ethnography. What is the contribution to cross-culture management? It's showing the hidden power structures and explaining the role these hidden power structures play.
So what we have shown in our article is the advantages of the different paradigm perspectives by looking at a critical incident. A critical incident is an intercultural situation which has gone wrong. So we showed how researchers of each paradigm would have analyzed the critical incidents. And by doing this, readers may experience aha moments, because a wider range of perspectives is given. So, and this is again kind of a teaser, so please have a look in our article so you get more information about this. And well, Christoph, what did we realize doing the multi-paradigmatic analysis?
Yes, Sina, in fact, we found on the basis of the three paradigms, how can we explain this misunderstanding? And the functionalist paradigm is looking for cultural differences. The interpretive paradigm is looking not for the differences themselves, but how meaning is expressed in differences. And the critical one, in fact, is interested in differences in power and power relations. What are the advantages? I mean, the advantages of the functionalist paradigm, it is clear, it can categorize elements, and it brings an expansion of knowledge. The interpretive paradigm is about perception and understanding of different positions and how these positions are contextualized in sense-making processes. The critical perspective, in fact, reveals inequalities, and it makes, in fact, manipulations clear. There are also disadvantages. For the functionalist paradigm, it's narrowing the field, it's box-in thinking, everything is culture. The disadvantage of the interpretative paradigm is a lack of generalization. It's very contextualized, it's context-bound, it's situation-specific, so it's difficult to make generalizations. The disadvantage of the critical perspective is that also it is narrowed, but narrowed because it sees, after all, the power structures and the struggles of power relations.
So coming to a conclusion, what is important to say here is, although we are able to switch perspectives, it is not possible to completely free ourselves from our own paradigm. It will always influence ourselves or our research, actually, to some extent. But as we know about these paradigms and how other researchers approach something or a research phenomena, we can at least try to put ourselves in their shoes as well. And this leads us to more comprehensive insights about the situation under study. And therefore, of course, as I just told you, the own paradigm influences, but we are able to go on a reflexive meta level and to see the different perspectives and thus have a more comprehensive insight and a more multifaceted view on our research phenomena.
So we would like to conclude with a quotation from Karl Popper, who was a German philosopher. I do admit that at any moment we are prisoners caught in the framework of our own theories, our expectations, our past experience and our languages. But we are prisoners in the Pickwickian sense. If we try, we can break out of our framework at any time. Admittedly, We shall find ourselves again in a framework, but it will be a better and roomier one, and we can at any moment break out of it again.
And here you go, you have another QR code to our homepage and our email addresses, just in case you want to ask questions and get in contact with us. Thank you so much for listening.